This is Kyle. This is Nick. Thank you for coming. I've been lost at the crossroads of distinction. I've been burned by your calliopes of fate. I've been banished as a leper from your memories. I've broken teeth on your stale, hackneyed prose. But still, I'll never suffer losers who acquiesce to your pretensions of commonalities not based in shades of gray. I've felt the brush of perception in the ocean, and I've witnessed contortions and fire near the coast. So your patent isolation and calloused, ignominious modes of interpretation shall not hinder the sound of recognition screaming out from shadows in the rain. I have been smothered under your footsteps of illusion. I've heard your contradictions expressionistically ignored. But still, I will trample down your hedges and cross the torrid backroads, exploring salient visions all along the way. I have tasted ancient pages ripe with illumination. I have felt potential bursting from the soil. Yet I see your words stabbing at the air and resting like a blade upon my weary throat. But still, I will not suffer losers who so willingly relinquish even a moment of awareness for the callous need to take control. Narratives scheme in small shadows of potential, crouching in tight corners to avoid facing the hot sun. Scenarios multiply, crafting the infrastructure of decimated hope, cauterized by beams of orange light peeking through an opening in the trees, while all the creeping lines of voyeurism come together, forming a picture. With each mark, a tacit chronicle of desperation, as the plot thickens, smothering its author, and every sentence adds weight to a palpable loss of control. To cut a sharp edge through the folly of my former nights, I offer myself recognition of maturity forged in the dark heart of a mind gone wild with loss. forget. Never forget that there is a writer who is writing, and there is a mind behind each and every word, and there are words behind each and every mind, feeding sentences that slyly tunnel their way through moving fingers, living symbiotically inside those docile appendages that feed you on insight while you nourish them through exposure to the lights as they spill out into spaces reserved for images to expand. Travel into space and bring back messages as cosmic lightning clutched firmly in their blackish arms. But some burn up upon re-entry, leaving chunks of energy where bodies once ate, sang, and breathed. Marks a gesture of duration upon burial mounds of perception, as silence accompanies this shedding of skin and tears among wailing, noiseless tongues. This moment is imminent and irrevocable. Motion hangs upon the precipice of revelation, to sever or conjoin, to meld or melt away. Pools of wax quiver around flames of renunciation. A flickering question remains, an illness of possibility, as I sit in tatters, feverish for the cure. Sun-steamed morning air fills my lungs as I lie vanquished and blank. Water mixes with oil, distorting the palette, drawing time thin across the page. Life rendered in translucent hues of blue. With nomenclature as my subterfuge, my escape, a distraction from the truth of my own vapidity. I must sing praises for joy's holy ascent and sorrow's deep well of agony. These are my kin, this intimate collective where strong souls fall headlong into the pleasure and pain of living. In this lonely hour, I must recant every single kind word ever said in my favor. Release my ego fortress of vanity to the dogs. I shall wail, wail, wail in my misery, cantankerous and seeding nothing. Showing nothing but contempt for the pursuit of happiness. I will lie in sorrow's heavy bed until she breaks me open, weakens my grip, touches all of my failures, and whips me into an inconsolate fit. Let her bring me to tears. Let her bring me to tears. I must pursue nothing but truth unfettered, breaking my glass on the point at which joy and sorrow conjoin, christening the grotesque beauty and sublime exhilaration of life released into itself, permeating the boundless essence of all that appears. The dread of rain to cover fire barrels without permission brings heavy noise above cold saucers left in the street as rats emerge with hungry eyes. Daggers of sharpened stone permeate the narrow barrier between life and death, upon whose hearth I cast my weary eyes. I remain confounded but alive, moving slowly down Snelling Avenue, pining for something else and drawing out my days in July's restless morning air, destination unknown. Passive aggression permeates folds of thick winter clothes, surrounding every inch of tightened skin, while the struggle to be real has become an impasse, verging on psychological subjugation, so that some will suffer for lacking fraudulence, with many forthright travelers taken as an assault upon the edifice of this county's subdued citizenry, as each unspoken word suffocates on the edge of an incomprehensible blunder. Ideas swim like parasites through the ether, constituted as life itself, searching for hosts in which to dwell, and upon whose lips they'll find form as words enunciated in clusters like constellations, which move all patient elders and every brave child strong enough to bear the burdens of guiding light echoing through the heavens, while comets break the atmosphere and their bestial forms come to rest where patterned snakes once carved out reptile homes. Remember, sometimes a simple word spoken aloud is the only remedy when every volume ever written down is not enough to assuage the pain of a solitary stone floating on an island made of tiny little shifting sticks. Night is settling in, and the city lights rumble awake, illuminating sidewalks or forlorn alleyways as I walk briskly across cold cement. The sky darkens further, and I am lost in the calm surrounding me. Approaching an open field, I feel the wind winding slowly by, with its subtle language enunciated in soft, metered tones. Watching as trees caress the meadow's haggard edge and wave their beady arms in the moonlight, beckoning a murder of crows to perch upon long, steady branches that hang like crooked fingers in the air. Not far away, I hear a rattling sound from cars rolling over pavement, and I see jet smoke in the skies above. It is then when I begin to understand that there is no nature, no abstract other, but only an interconnected web of things humming throughout the landscape of existence. Where I bend down to tie the laces on my shoe, snow brushes across my right knee. And there is a trail of footprints through the snow, leading back to the place from which I came to stand in this field. Which reminds me that trails are everywhere, mapping human interactions within a multitude of ecosystems, leading me to understand that we should be mindful of the paths we make. They'll slap us, kick us, and beat us when we're down, but we'll come rising on up out of this thing, shining steadfast and bright, radiating a heat wave of love, melting hatred into oblivion, putting some feet to ideals brought back from the dead, pulsing with red-hot conscience and thickening blood, letting loose like a thunderstorm over dry, choking fields of joy. Windows look out upon ragged children. Their faces are worn and covered in dust from the heels of long forgotten cultures, whose own children once sang among trees with roots growing long and centuries wiped away by currents of time as tidal wave hands paid no heed to hierarchy or the family crest. Two sheets to the wind crawling through liquid heat near an abandoned lot on Cedar Avenue. The refinery explodes with metal vats on fire as night's hidden pleasures call out in the humid summer air. Sirens wail like banshees on the make, while Loretta walks a rope strung tight between friends and strangers. In the big top jumble of life, fortune tellers, soothsayers, and well-wishers stand below her, letting out with taunts and schemes dredged up from the vaults of a huckster's forked and wicked tongue. Her mind is wrapped in lightning striking on another plane. Though she is neither contemptuous nor dismissive of the potent masses below, Loretta hears little but the roar of rockets in the gaslight evening as stars sing her secrets to the moon. Blood, in my bones and sinews and waste, she renders me naked in sackcloth and ashes, in my cells, in my skin, in my hair and cartilage and amniotic fluid. She tells it like it is, burying my rough feet in the incomprehensible weight of her presence, and I am forced by her strength to relinquish my stains, pushing hands deep in scalding hot water, scrubbing away the filth. In my arteries and in my veins, in my eyes and ears and spit, she digs digs in her heels, taking me to task for all I've left undone and all I could have done. For she is memory, culture, and experience, all wound up in circular patterns and seasons passing. Tuned in not by latitude, nor longitude, but by finitude and infinity. And I can't shake it, I just can't shake it, baby! This thing that I am, this reality that is part of me, this crack in the fabric between me and not me that is me. Stop trying to accomplish something. Do nothing other than sitting silently in the quiet solitude of careful observation. For this is not negation, but rather an embrace or a moment in which to begin anew. Thank you.